Welcome to 2 Cents, where I, Xaver, also speak to industry professionals to give us their 2 cents of how they got to where they are today. Today's guest is Sophie Blöchlinger. She is an editor. She works for all the major production houses here. She has done commercials for Volkswagen, for IKEA, for Radio 24. Sophie, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Cool. So, tell us, what is the job of an editor?
The job of an editor is, well, after this monumental process of many people involved and many people on the set and working together and putting their efforts in every little detail, and then it ends up in my editing room and I start with watching it. I try to feel the temperature, I try to feel the pace, what it has and what it could be. I try to consider the initial ideas and goals, but mainly to really find the good moments. So it's about judging if a shot is aesthetically nice, if the light is good, working out. It's most of all judging acting. Would I say it like this if I would be in that emotion? That is a question I often ask myself. I try to find what I'm attracted to and to put it together.
Is it like a puzzle that you built, you feel like taking all the pieces together so that it becomes one piece?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically the goal. It should be something that carries the viewer away. It should create a world that takes you off that room you're sitting in and you want to go there, you want to be there. It should show the unexpected, that you never get bored, but it should never irritate you in a way that you can not, that you lose the emotional connection. One part is to see what has been done and with what intention. The other part is to see what is actually there and what worked out right and what maybe didn't. Maybe discover some things that haven't been planned, but they are very precious and beautiful, and to put them in the right place so they can shine.
Very nice. So when you first get contacted about an edit, what is the first steps of working? Do you communicate with the director? Do you have a storyboard? Do you have a mood board? What is the first steps?
Usually my first question is, what should that movie do? So where is it gonna be screened? What should it sell? What should it tell? I get storyboards, I get obviously screenplays. I talk to the director. I try to feel how much freedom I have in my creative process. How far can I go? How brave are we at that point? Is there trust or fears or something that went wrong on the set?
But sometimes I feel like also you are being chosen as an editor because you come with a fresh eye at the whole thing, or when sometimes people are so close to it that you come and you don't necessarily understand the project completely, but you have this fresh eye, and that's sometimes worth a lot.
That's worth a lot, yeah. That is the reason why I would never be on set, because I don't want to see the things that go wrong there and everyone screams about it, and then I look at the footage and I don't see it. I don't see the problem.
So when you first receive the material, what do you physically do from a technical side when you're importing it into the timeline?
Yeah. Most of the time I work with proxies, which is a convert, a lighter version of the original footage of the clips, because I work from on the road sometimes, from home, and especially with a feature film, I can have a smooth edit technically, because a computer cannot handle 100 hours of 4K footage. And I import it into one timeline where I have all my footage. I start to make a first selection where I just throw out everything that I don't like, and then I do a second selection, which is a best of. I look for faces where something happens that someone who watches this can connect to his own emotions. I look for aesthetical shots, something that is amazingly beautiful and just is perfect. And obviously storytelling shots, something that explains in one shot a profound basic of the story we want to tell. Then I take them out into my first rough edit, and I try to find stuff around that helps those shots shine. So it's like putting them in the spotlight and see, what do you need to get there? What do you need after this for processing? What will the viewer require to see after he has seen that?
And when do you bring music into the edit?
That's about the moment. It's a fact that at the end, this is going to be a combination of visuality and music. And I just try to use music that doesn't have too much moments or things, but just something flat. And I don't really want a beat, because a beat subconsciously always influences you to define the length. Yeah, last but not least, I have my lost and found sequence. Always in a moment where I don't know how to make the next step or where to go, I go to my lost and found sequence, and I start to work with those shots. Then I make a first sequence, edit, rough, 001, where I put those shots, and I go to my selection tool to see where do I have other shots to put them around them. What do they need to
package them?
To package them. What do they need to be the best, whatever they can be? I put that together. I watch it many times. Usually I call it day 3. It's not always day 3, but that's when I have my difficult day. You leave the office in the evening and you think, I don't know what to do. And then there comes the interesting days. They go to their places where they belong by themselves. And that's my absolutely preferred moment in my job, because now I have the experience and I know that moment will happen. I don't have to force it, or I just have to sit there and watch it all over again, and watch it and move it a little bit around and see what happens, and it will click.
Your personal end goal, to an edit, regardless what the director says now. And so what would you like an edit to be like? Should it be like a dance? Should it just flow all in one? Should it be just like one unit? Or what is your perfect scenario in an edit?
At the end, I think what any movie, in whatever form it has, if it's a commercial or a long feature film or whatever, it should open doors to someone's emotional world. I think too many edits always underline the fact that someone did that. So one last step, you should open the clips again, throw things out. Like the really last part is always
kill your darlings.
Yeah, kill your darlings, because you see where it went. I had big moments with watching movies and remembering what is actually important in my life and that I have maybe lost along the way, or I had things happening to me that I couldn't cry about, and suddenly I watch something and I don't think I cry out of empathy for that person. I think I cry because it gives me a connection to process something that I couldn't. The goal is to actually connect the viewer to himself. That's why I watch movies.
If you could inspire a young person, a young woman that would like to be an editor, what would that be? What is it in some inspirational words, or what are some tips to be successful?
I think you have to know who you are, where you come from, and what you're good at, and just trust in that feeling. I spent one day in an editing room, and in the evening I walked out of it and I called my mom and I said, that's it, I'm going to be an editor, and I'm going to be it. I don't know when, it might take time, but it's really out of the question if I'm going to be it or not. But it will happen. That is just what I'm really, really sure of.
Well, Sophie, thank you very much for sharing your poetic life with us. Yeah. And that's it for now. Join us next time on 2 Cents. Stories from industry professionals. Use it or lose it. You choose.